Of today's joyous occasion. We honor the value of our mothers and all she gives and sacrifices for us. Swami himself had said, Ishwarama was the chosen one. I chose her to be my mother. That is the intimate relationship between Mother Ishwarama and myself. I could go on and on about all the traits and acts of our mothers blessed with us. However, I came across a poem which I thought would be valuable in sharing with you all today. I feel this poem sums up much of how we feel about our beautiful mothers. Her Hands by Maggie Pickman. Her hands held me gently from the day I took my first breath. Her hands helped me to guide me as I took my first step. Her hands held me close when the tears would start to fall. Her hands were quick to show me that she would take care of it all. Her hands were there to brush my hair or straighten a wayward bow. Her hands were often there to comfort the hurts that didn't actually show. Her hands helped hold the stars in place and encouraged me to reach. Her hands would clap, cheer, and praise when I captured them at length. Her hands would also push me, though not down or in harm's way. Her hands would punctuate the words, just do what I say. Her hands sometimes had to discipline to help bend this young tree. Her hands would shape and mold me into all she knew I could be. Her hands are now twisting with age and years of hard work. Her hands now needs my gentle touch to rub away the hurt. Her hands are more beautiful than anything can be. Her hands are the reason I am me. But if you look around you here right now, you will always be able to notice the lovely women who have in some form been able to make a difference in your lives. So why not we all start tonight, this beautiful evening, with a large round of applause and appreciation for all women here present in this hall, as well as all women in the world.
So our next speaker is an ex-student of Swami. She hails to Canada all the way from Hatras near Mathura, India. Her grandparents were very religious, and she was greatly influenced by her grandmother. Her parents came from a very humble background and were simple people. In mid-1975, her family came in the fold of Swami. She joined Bhagwan's Women's College in 1977, completed her bachelor's degree from Anantapur College campus of Sri Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning in 1982. She started work as a girl guide for Trade Fair Authority of India and later worked for a South Korean company. In 1985, she joined Pan American Airlines as an air hostess. She got married in 1990 to a gentleman in Canada, Edmonton. She worked with Northwest Airlines as a passenger service agent. She has 3 children, and all of them have graduated from the SSSE program here at the Edmonton Center. She has been teaching the SSSE teacher in our center for 10 years. I personally know her for more than 20 years. First, I met her at a satsang, at a gathering at somebody's house. I think she's here, and I think it's Nirmal. At her house, and I just looked at her. She was a young lady, newly wedded, very stunning, full of energy. And I didn't realize at that time that she was going to come. And I will always see her. And I've always met her at satsangs. She's none other than Bariya Jha. Yeah. My humble pranams at the lotus feet of my Divine Mother, Sri Sathya Sai Baba, respected elders, dear brothers and sisters, and dear children. Let me begin this talk by offering my most sincere pranams and respect to the 5 mothers: the physical mother, Deha Mata, the Gaw Mata, Holy Cow, the Ved Mata, Holy Scriptures, Bhu Mata, Mother Earth, and above all, the Supreme Divine Mother, the Cosmic Mother, Sai Mata. Let us also pay homage to Mother Ishwaramba, who gave us the most precious gift of Sai. It was in 1976 when my family heard of Sai Baba. There were some visiting bhajan groups, Bhusawal, where I used to live, who introduced his name and message to us. Soon after, we had the first picture of Bhagwan in our puja room. My older sister had joined us from North India for her summer holidays. She had a bad cold and was coughing a lot. At night, she woke up and went to my parents' room to find cough syrup. She felt around in the darkness as she did not want to wake my parents up for the cough syrup and picked up a wrong bottle containing a massage oil for my grandmother's niece, which was toxic and not good to drink at all. My sister was unaware of this and quietly drank the oil after coming out from the room. She started feeling strange. After a few seconds, she started feeling very uneasy. And I was awoken by the funny sound because she was trying to reach for my parents, call them. So I quickly got up and ran for the help to get my parents. I went and I didn't know how to handle the situation at that time. She was taken to the nearest hospital as my parents exactly knew what was happening. After a few hours, my parents could meet her, and her first word to my father was, "I want to see Baba, I want to go to Purti." Baba had come to her aid when she started feeling sick and cured her. My father said, "Okay, but it's a peak traveling season. How will we get a ticket to go all the way to Purti on such a short notice?" With great difficulty, he managed to get 2 seats just to go to Bombay. My father asked me to join my sister and him. So the 3 of us left for Purti after a few days after this incident. We only had 2 seats for 3 of us until the Bombay train station. And my father joked, "Baba only wants me and your sister to come to Purti." As I heard him say that, I was excited because that meant I would be able to stay back in Bombay with my aunt. And I have never seen this big city. It was the first time that I had gone to Bombay, and I was very, very happy on that day because this will be my chance. But I guess Baba had different plans. So after staying at my aunt's for a night, my father tried to arrange for 3 birds for us to go to Purti. Surprisingly, he received the confirmation for all the 3 birds. And so it was certain that Baba wanted me to come to Purti as well. We left for Purti by the afternoon train, and on the way, the conductor advised us to get off at Dharmavaram station. Most of you who know the Dharmavaram is the station where we need to get down and take a bus to go to Prashanti, that is Puttaparthi. At that time, the porters were having the strike, so that no trains were stopping at Dharmavaram station. So the conductor, he advised that we should get down at Anandpur station, where we can have some buses which can take us to Puttaparthi. So we got down at Anandpur station, and my father arranged for the place where we could just stay for a few hours before we headed for the station, as it was the bus station, as it was quite early morning hours. As we were leaving the city from the bus, we could see a beautiful building on our way to Purti. And my father asked the conductor and the driver, "What is it?" And he told us that this is a women's college for Sat Sai Baba where we are going. As we arrived in Prashanti later that day, we were very tired. Despite my fatigue, I remember the quietness and the magic of the place. It was truly beyond words. After the night rest, we saw Baba. After 2 days of our stay there, Baba called us for an interview. As we went inside, Baba told my father the details of my sister's accident and confirmed to us that he was there and protecting her. Then he materialized Vibhuti for my sister and gave the rest to both of us. He then asked
what we were studying, and he asked some other questions to my father. My father expressed his desire for us to study in Anantapur College, and Baba said, "Your wish is granted." He told my father to talk to the principal and come back next year. I still remember the breathtaking fragrance in the atmosphere and the energy in that room at that time. Baba was very kind and spoke lovingly to us all throughout our stay. I would like to talk about my experience at Anantapur. It was a drastic jump from a Hindi medium school to an English medium as I started grade 11 at Prashanti at Anantapur campus. The transition was very challenging for me. English was my second language, so for almost 3 months, I sat in the classroom and cried every single day. And I used to go back to the hostel in my room and cry there again because I did not know why I was there. And I used to ask Swami, why am I here? Each day will go by. Things started changing only after when I wrote a letter to Bhagwan. So with his blessing, I passed my exam with very good grades. During the trips of our hostel girls to Parthi, we used to stay in the dormitory right in front of the old mandir where Baba used to live. We used to sit outside for hours together on the balcony. Most of you who know Prashanti layout, you can see when we enter from the Gopuram on the left side where there's a post office now and there are some yoga classes being held. We used to be on the first floor and the Whitefield boys used to stay downstairs on the ground floor. And when we used to stay on the balcony, we could see Swami's old mandir where Swami used to live at that time. And our mind used to, always wonder what is Swami going to be doing at this time. And our mind used to think, sing, eat, work, and study 24/7 only for Swami during that time. The layout of Prashanti Nilayam in 1978 was totally different from what it is today. Prashanti was an open area with lots of sand and beautiful coconut trees around. It was housed by many brightly colored birds who used to chirp all throughout the day. Most of the time we used to see Sai Geeta, as most of you know is elephant, a pet elephant of Swami. Standing close to the Gopuram on man's side, her devotion to Swami was unparalleled. Baba taught us the importance of cleanliness and advised us that cleanliness is godliness. The ashram and college were always spotless and were creatively decorated as per Vedic traditions. I was in awe of the silence that pervaded this sacred place, calming and nurturing the souls of the people who were drawn there. During festival season, we were assigned various duties in Prashanti. We were happy to be of service and excited at the opportunity to channel our love and devotion and gratitude to Bhagwan. Baba's love transformed us. Seeing the hard work of the volunteers at Prashanti, it impressed me. The volunteers had pure love and single-pointed devotion to Bhagwan. They treated all work as worship and duty as God, just as Baba teaches. The volunteers literally bent their bodies, mended their senses, and ended their mind, and became his instruments. Prashanti, the abode was peace, was vibrant, always. The large number of devotees came from various faiths and backgrounds and congregated at the festivals celebrated in this small spiritual town. The joy in the air was clear to see when every time Swami would make an appearance. During birthday time, the singer used to take us all to the world of stirring music and melodies. Swami used to shower his grace on us by sending fruits and sweets every day. The world of Prashanti was brand new for me. It was a world of sharing and caring, and so full of harmony and peace. The elaborate preparation were proof of how divine love can set so many heads and hands into action without any clashes and disorder. The vibrations of love just enveloped you wherever you were in Prashanti. I would like to narrate another incident that showed Baba omnipresence. It was during our final year exams in 1982. We had preparatory holidays and there were some festivals during this time along the weekend. So our warden decided to take all the students to Parthi, except some of the students who were in final years, and that included me too. It was very common in those days to visit Parthi every second week. But surprisingly, days had passed and our warden had not made any arrangement for us to go. When the day of departure for other students arrived, we realized we may not be going to Parthi before our final exams. The other students boarded the waiting buses and left us heartbroken. We decided to leave our books and go to the bhajan, that is a prayer hall, and sing our sorrows away. As we sang, we cried and called on Swami. The lunch bell rang and we did not even eat our lunches because we felt empty and sad. Nothing could make us happy at that time except for a word from Bhagwan. We were imagining how the other students would be sitting for darshan and could picture Swami blessing them. We decided not to study and even eat our food and kept on singing. Hours passed until we saw one of our teachers who had stayed back to take care of us coming into the prayer hall smilingly and asked us to stop singing as she had an announcement to do. She told that we'll be leaving for Parthi the very next morning as Swami has called us. Our happiness knew no bounds. We thanked her as well as Swami in our heart many times. Our heart danced with joy. As we arrived the next day, Swami had already started giving the morning darshan. We quietly ran from the bus and joined the other students in the hall. The moment we settled in, Swami came towards us and looked at us. And lovingly and smilingly, he told us, "Very, very happy, Bangaru, good girls." The senior girl students group thanked Swami for calling us to Parthi. Swami told our warden, Jayama madam, how we were crying and went to sing. Even he expressed by showing his hand, putting his hand on his eyes, and he was just kind of imitating us. And he told that these girls were on hunger strike and they were crying, and he exactly told where we were sitting in the hall, and that's how he showed us that he was present with us at all times. He called us at the same day for an interview and blessed us with Pad Namaskar and Vibhuti, because we were writing, of course, the final exams. And he also told us, Chala Santosham, which means very satisfied. There was another student who became a friend to an elderly woman in the old mandir. During the winter, this girl, she noticed that this old amma had an old and torn sweater. So without telling anybody, she had this deep desire to knit a sweater for her. So she went and bought the wool and she learned how to knit a sweater. And when she was visiting next time to Prashanti, she went to Amma's shelter. Shelter is a place where all this old woman used to live at that time. And she quietly gave the sweater. And the very same day, she came back for the darshan line where we were seated, and she happened to get the seat at the last row. And she went and sat there. As she sat there, she was just very happy. And as Swami came, I still remember that Swami went straight to the last row. And he went to her and he told her, "Bangaru, very good sweater, very good girl, and I'm very happy." And then he gave her a Pad Namaskar and went to the warden right in the front row and told the warden the sweater story. Baba was always present and used to reveal this fact to us often. my peers who was chatty and loved to talk. Swami was very particular about the discipline, especially in study hours. Even during study hours, she was found chatting. Bhagwan was very particular always, and he used to come to us every time when we used to visit to Prashanti, which used to be almost second week of every trip we have taken. So once we were all there, Baba went straight to this girl and told her how at the previous week she was in a particular room, which was room number 5 at 8:30 p.m. and he told the name of the girl. Thus, Swami showed that all these incidents speak about his eternal presence. In the entry room, we used to feel like butterflies flying around Swami, ready to drink all the nectar of his wisdom, love and bliss. The words of the Bhagwan, always repeated, were in the entry room, as a girl, you always watch for your character. Always be mindful of how you behave. He spoke about the power of now and used to say often that past is a history and future is a mystery. All you have is a given moment at hand, that is present gift. Make the most of it and make sure your life has some purpose and goals. The pure and selfless love of Bhagwan made a very deep impact on all of us. I remember how Bhagwan taught us how so lovingly to serve food to the poor and the needy in the Narayan Seva. I am extremely grateful to Swami for giving me an opportunity to study in his college. The Educare helped me in so many ways and has empowered me to cope with all kinds of stress, work and challenges that life has to offer. To be a Swami student, it is very important that we follow his teachings and practice what he preaches. To us, he was all in one. The loving mother, strict teacher, and a caring father who taught me the value of discipline, and a friend who accepted me the way I was, while encouraging my self-growth by chiseling away my weaknesses. This has not stopped since I left his college. I was given valuable lessons that were necessary. Swami always taught us to do our duties with a simple and pure heart. And that is the sadhana which Swami has suggested to all of us. In another experience where whenever Baba used to visit to Anandpur campus, there were culture programs and dances and dramas put on in his honor. Some of my classmates were expert in classical dance, Bharatnatyam, and I used to wish if I had the same training as my Bollywood dancers would not be welcome in Anantapur. I just used to pray that later in my life, if I would ever get the opportunity to dance in front of him, Baba, ever knowing, did grant this small wish. Exactly 28 years later, in 2010, my twin boys got this wonderful opportunity to perform a native Indian dance as a part of Canadian pilgrimage group. When my boys danced, I cried endlessly all throughout the performance. After the performance, Baba walked towards where I was sitting with the rest of the Canadian group and looked at me and smiled as if to say, "See, I did not forget your wish." My daughter was also blessed to recite the Vedas in front of Bhagwan. He made sure to grant my humble wish before leaving his physical body. Through my children, I danced and I sang for the Divine Lord, and I could only express my gratefulness, my gratitude through my tears. I know my prayers had reached him. I will end my talk with a small prayer. O Lord, take my love and let it flow in fullness of devotion to Thee. O Lord, take my soul and let it be merged in one with Thee. O Lord, take my hands and let them work instantly for Thee. O Lord, take my mind and thoughts and let them be in tune with Thee. Oh Lord, take my everything and let me be an instrument to work for you. Jai Sai Ram.
Thank you, Baria. That was great insights of your experiences. And every time I hear a personal experience, I always feel that my own experiences, and it gives me a butterfly in my stomach and goosebumps, and I just feel that my personal relationship with God. So it's a great feeling. Tonight also marks the beginning of a week-long celebration for Swami's 90th birthday, which ends on Monday evening. As we all know, Swami gives a lot of importance to women and their different roles, as the past speakers have mentioned. Women at home, women in the community, and in organizations. So the ladies at our center all came together for a few months and brought all their talents together. So tonight they have compiled a program for all of us to enjoy. A play, some music, some video clips. So sit back, relax, and enjoy that.
Om Shri Sai Ram. Dear Swami, we offer at your lotus feet a few milestones in the life of Mother Ishwarama. Swami, you have said Ishwarama was the chosen one. You chose her to be your mother. Only one person in this era has had the opportunity to relate to you in this manner. And how wonderful was this intimate relationship. You manifested as love incarnate, and Mother Ishwarama provided a medium for the infinite, formless one to acquire a formless form.
जन्म दिया तूने साई को, हम पे किया उपकार। ईश्वर अम्मा तेरा साए, युग युग का अवतार, युग युग का अवतार।
Mother Ishwarama's given name at birth was Nama Giryamma, but it was changed soon after marriage, long before the birth of Swami, upon the direction of Kandamaraju, the grandfather of Swami. Ishwarama means the mother of Ishwara, or God.
Mother Ishwarama truly was a divine soul with a sacred mission and purpose. And just like Kaushalya, Devaki and Mary, she underwent similar agonies and ecstasies, fears and dilemmas, trials and triumphs, and ultimately bliss at the divine lotus feet.
Like Lord Krishna, Swami was the eighth child of Mother Ishwarama, and the turbulent times she went through before he took birth were akin to what Devaki experienced before the birth of Lord Krishna. None of Devaki's previous children could escape from Kamsa. Ishwarama, too, suffered at the hands of cruel fate. She had 4 miscarriages in a row before the light of the world descended as her son.
Ishwarama,
to be Ishwara's Amma, Divine Mother of Sai, Divine Mother of Sai.
And so it was. The divine descended and had chosen the womb of Mother Ishwarama as his temporary abode.
When the sacred moment arrived in the early hours of the morning on that holy Monday, 23rd of November, 1926, the chosen mother had just consumed prasad given to her by her mother-in-law after the Satyanarayana Puja. And so, even before the sun had spread its morning light on the Ratnakaram home, the house was bright with bliss and happiness.
Ratnakaram, meaning a treasure chest of gems, now had its most precious jewel, Satyanarayana Raju.
The childhood days of Swami was full with his divine leelas, and his talents in music, dance and poetry would bring joy to many. Ishwarama was the one who fussed over Swami's every moment, and as the years went by, she had to adjust to the many changes that followed the ever-growing glory of her son. Her biggest and enduring difficulty was that of acceptance. Often, she was torn between the maternal instinct to protect and nurture her darling Satya and the inevitable need to let go when Bhagwan declared his mission. The mother tried to retain whatever contact she could as Swami's time became taken up by the needs of his devotees.
Hurry up, ladies, let's go. Swami will be giving darshan soon.
Nitya
Satyanam Ji Bol, Satyanam, Satyanam, Satyanam Ji Bol. Govinda Jai Jai, Gopal Jai Jai, Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai, Govinda Jai Jai, Gopal Jai Jai, Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai, Govinda Jai Jai, Gopal Jai Jai, Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai, Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai, Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai.
Swami, what is this I hear? They say you are going to build a new mandir on that hill. How can you go to a spot that is so far from the village? A place that is surrounded by jungle and filled with snakes and scorpions? How will people who are old and mothers with tiny children get to you? This mandir is enough for you. It is better to have a small place filled with people than a huge building half empty.
Why do you bother with people's talk? There will be no jungle, no snake. When I go there, there will be millions of pilgrims pouring in every day, and the place will become a Shirdi, a Tirupati, and a Kasi.
Millions of people will come. But Swami, where will they stay?
And so, the new mandir, called Prashanti Nilayam, which literally means the abode of supreme peace, was built and inaugurated in 1950. For Swami's devotees, it is what Rome is to the Catholics and Mecca to the Muslims. Prashanti Nilayam welcomes thousands of spiritual seekers from every faith and all corners of the globe each day, as they arrive to behold the sacred presence of Bhagavan Baba. It is a seat of inner growth and learning that visitors describe as awe-inspiring. Its appeal lies in its power to nourish the soul and calm the mind.
Mother Ishwarama became a mother to a growing number of sisters in distress. She was there for everyone who needed a helping hand. The love with which she treated these women blossomed as she watched how Swami cured the sick, how he consoled the depressed, and how he cared for the lost ones. Swami would tell the mother about the trying circumstances due to which the women were so sad, so depressed. And when Bhagwan narrated their difficult circumstances, the mother's heart would melt in compassion.
Listening to him, Mother Ishwarama decided that she would not condemn or ridicule any woman on the basis of their apparent faults or findings. She knew, for they were only the results of persecution and poverty. She decided that she was going to be a mother to everyone who came to Prashanti Nilayam. She reached out to those who were widowed by fate and who were ostracized by society. She sought out young women who were deserted by their husbands and left alone and helpless. She helped the sick with her knowledge of simple folk remedies for physical illnesses.
She, in fact, took a promise from Swami that girls should be educated. It was this pure intention of the mother that led to the establishment of the first college campus of the Sri Satya Sai University, Women, in Anantapur in 1968.
Mother Ishwarama was always worried when Swami left Puttaparthi, even if it was for only a day to a nearby town. So imagine her distress when she heard about the planned trip to East Africa in 1968.
Did you hear? Swami is going to Africa.
Yes, unfortunately I wasn't selected. Did you get selected to go with him?
I did. I'm so excited. You wouldn't believe. Can you imagine spending so much time with Swami? I'll tell you all about it. I can't wait.
Not much was known about Africa in those days, and the common impression was that it was a dark continent full of wild animals, savages and cannibals. The mother feared that Swami would be in mortal danger if he went there.
Look at. This is the map of Africa.
Hi.
Do you see? Uganda.
Do you have camera?
Okay. Yes, I do.
Do you have binoculars?
Here we go.
Do you have hats?
Actually, I have one for you, one for me.
What is this I'm hearing? You're sending Swami to the jungles of Africa? They say that place is full of huge elephants, tigers and leopards. Do you know the people there are tall and menacing? They eat other people.
Don't worry. Swami will have so much security. He'll be safe.
See, our Swami is so tiny. You must tell Swami not to go there. How will Swami manage there? Please, please tell Swami not to go. Please.
Amma, there are so many dangers. We know that there are so many dangers in Africa. How can they affect Swami? He is God, isn't he?
You fool. I know Swami is God, and you know Swami is God. But do those savages and wild animals in Africa know He is God?
Such was the innocence of the mother and her relentless, undying concern for her divine son. Swami did go to Africa, and it was a grand trip. Swami said in his discourse on Ishwarama Day 2007, At the time of my departure for East Africa, Mother Ishwarama tried to discourage me from going, saying, "Swami, you should not go there. If you will, all that will come here. Then why do you want to go there?" I told her, "I'm not going to see the wild animals there. I'm going in response to the loving prayers of my devotees."
Swami, there are many little children who are forced to walk so far to the school in Bukkapatnam from our village. Swami, could you please build a school for the children here?
I have no money with me.
Swami, you have given me everything. I don't need this anymore. Please sell it.
Don't be hasty. I just want to test you. I shall build a school. Are you satisfied?
I am somewhat satisfied. But there is something more, Swami.
Tell me, what is it?
When little children from our village have ailments like cold and fever and all that, the mothers have to take them to Bukkapatnam for treatment. And in the meanwhile, anything can happen, Swami. Could you please build a hospital for these little ones?
Yes, as you wish. I will build a hospital. Is there something else? Ask me now.
I have one more small wish, Swami. You know that the Chitravati dries to a trickle in the summer and people do not have drinking water. So, please see that some wells are dug in this village, Swami.
Yes, Mother. I will provide drinking water for the villagers. Don't worry.
Swami, it does not matter if I die now. I have no more worries. You have fulfilled my desires and have relieved the suffering of the villagers. Thank you, Swami.
Thus, it was Mother Ishwarama's vision and compassion that has lit up in the lives of countless people who are still today benefiting from her unselfish wishes. Swami has attributed the schools, hospitals, and water projects to his mother. He said she had a heart which was large and expansive. She asked for things that were for the good of all mankind.
In her role as the mother, she incited Swami's compassion for mankind into tangible acts of philanthropy. If Puttaparthi today is the example of social upliftment, it is because of the selfless desires of Mother Ishwarama. She had a special love for children, because in every child she saw Satya. Naturally, children also loved her. They watched with delight the twinkle in her eyes and the wrinkles on her cheeks and chin as she joked and laughed. They were amused, and their attention was aroused when her golden glass bangles jingled as she gestured while stressing a point or telling a story.
Mysore Maharani, when did you come?
Just today, Swami. It is such a long journey for us to get here. It is difficult for us to come here often. Please come and settle in Mysore, Swami. We shall build a big mansion for you.
I don't want palatial building. I just want to be here.
Swami, people want to take you here and there for their selfish purposes. But Swami, if you leave Puttaparthi, then I will give up my life. Swami, you must promise me that you will remain in Puttaparthi forever.
Yes, I promise. I will never leave Patti.
So it is the mother to whom mankind owes allegiance to his birthplace. Truly, the whole life of Mother Ishwarama is a shining example for us to emulate. She was an ideal wife, sister, mother and grandmother. She was a constant source of support, inspiration and love for the village folk and their ever-expanding Sai family. And with Bhagwan as the supreme teacher to guide her, she learned every lesson Swami gave her with his glance, a word, a question, or a smile, and became a living saint, radiating love and purity.
Amazing love for Swami and constantly seeking the happiness and welfare of others. This is the summation of Mother Ishwarama's life.
నేను దిగి వచ్చింది ప్రేమ అనే జ్యోతిని మీ హృదయాలలో వెలిగించటానికి మరియు రోజు రోజుకి ఆ జ్యోతి దేదీప్యమానంగా మీ హృదయాలలో వెలిగేటట్లు చూడటానికి.
I have come to light the lamp of love in your hearts, to see that it shines day by day with added luster.
ఈ నిత్య సత్యాన్ని, ఈ జగత్ సత్యాన్ని, ఈ ప్రేమ మార్గాన్ని మీకు అందించడానికే నేను దిగి వచ్చింది.
I have come to tell you of this universal, unitary faith, this spiritual principle, this path of love, this duty of love, this obligation to love.
నమ్మండి, అందరి హృదయాలు ప్రేరేపింపబడేది ఒకే ఒక భగవంతుడు వల్లనే.
Believe that all hearts are motivated by the one and only God.
అన్ని మతాలు పూజించేది ఒకే ఒక భగవంతుణ్ణి. అన్ని రూపాలు ఆ భగవంతుని ప్రతిరూపాలే. ఏ భాషలో పూజించినా, ఏ రూపంతో పూజించినా పూజించేది ఒకే ఒక భగవంతుణ్ణి.
That all faiths glorify the one and only God. That all names in all languages and all forms man can conceive denote the one and only God.
దేవుణ్ణి పూజించడానికి ప్రేమ మార్గం అత్యున్నతమైన మార్గం.
His adoration is best done by means of love.
అన్ని దేశాల మధ్య, అన్ని జాతుల మధ్య, అందరి మనుషుల మధ్య ఈ ప్రేమ అనే తత్వం ఒకటే అనే భావనను అలవర్చుకోండి. ఈ ప్రేమ మార్గాన్ని నేను మీకు అందిస్తున్నాను. ఈ ప్రేమ మార్గాన్ని మీ హృదయాలలో పదిలపరుస్తారని ఆశిస్తున్నాను.
Cultivate that attitude of oneness between men of all creeds and all countries. That is the message of love I bring. That is the message I wish you to take to heart.
Thank you, ladies. That was wonderful. Can we get another round of applause for them? And I don't know about you people, but I definitely got a couple of messages from that. It's like we always live for ourselves, and look at Mother Ishwarama. She always lived for others. So maybe we can all try to take some time and live for somebody else. Now we have a song from our very youthful youth from Edmonton Center here.
Our dear Swami has set an example of how mothers should be treated. Never forget your mother. Treasure her from your heart. Sai initiated Ladies' Day as a day to mark and honor our mothers, a day to foster respect and love for all mothers and all that they do. As we celebrate this Ladies' Day, let us all make an effort to understand the value of our own mother's love and her significance in making us who we are today. Dear Swami, we are all internally grateful to you for being the guiding light in our lives over the years, and for manifesting your love for us through our earthly mothers. On behalf of all of the youth, we dedicate this song and photo show to all of the mothers of our center. We hope you enjoy. Saram.
Thank you, ladies. That was wonderful.
That was Simran, Jessica, Nima, Nisha, Rachel, and Arti.
And it was whoever's idea that was, it was great for me at least. Seeing the ladies that were here with us today, honoring them. And now I would like to call upon Sister Ragni, who's our Vice President of the center here. And I'd also like to thank her for leading the ladies and putting a lot of work for this day, and also other things that she does at the center. Sister Agni.
My humble pranams at the lotus feet of our beloved Bhagwan. Sairam, respected elders, brothers, sisters, and children. My heartfelt gratitude to Swami for guiding us all ladies and giving us importance as a lady in this lifetime. The mother's love is the first school for every child. It is the first temple. It is his first temple. Mother is his foremost God. Mother is every man's primary wealth. It is the duty of every person to recognize this truth. Everyone should cherish their parents as embodiments of the divine. The father and mother are inseparable, like the word and its meaning. This quote was from Satya Sai Speaks, Volume 16, Chapter 24. And I have a message for mothers. Swami said something very, very profound and moving to one of his college students after her graduation, when she went back to Prashanti. He said, "I don't want anything from you. Just make sure your children follow the teachings and the values that you have learned in this college. If you do that, I shall be satisfied. I don't want anything else." So at this time, I'd like to thank all the gurus who stay here back day and night to help our kids. And this is what Swami wants from us, from our kids. As you have seen, the play shed light on the life of Ishwarama and Swami and Swami's love for his mother. Ishwarama, Swami's mother, was a very simple lady with no major degrees, etc. But she was a teacher for us. Her name has come across the globe as one of the ladies whose name will be repeated in history over and over by Swami's devotees. So a big round of applause for all the ladies who has put a tremendous amount of time. And also our Sister Emla for emceeing tonight, so thank you, Sister Emla. Also at this time, I'd like to take the opportunity to thank all those who have attended the program, especially the audience without whom any event is not possible. And also those who have contributed in one way or the other to make this Ladies' Day a success. We also appreciate the youth girls for the beautiful song. Thank you. And again, I'd say Auntie Chalama and Auntie Gyana, I think people had asked for autographs. My daughter especially asked, she saw you in the rehearsal and she said, "Mom, I need to take a picture with Auntie Gyana."
Private interview.
Not forgetting the most important people of all, I would like to extend a special thanks to our chefs who has worked all day to provide us with a delicious meal. I may be wrong because I saw him unloading cans and cans of soup, so I don't know. Last night, so I don't know. And also a warm welcome to all the newcomers. If you have any questions, please talk to one of us, either me or Brother Troy. Raise your hand, and we would be more than happy to help answer your questions.
Yeah. you.